Boys and girls, I hope you've had a lovely week. Thank you very much for those of you who completed last week's work. We read some really good source analysis, and you understand this topic looks really clear and good. We're going to continue on with our theme of World War II and the causes of World War II, and we're looking at appeasement. Okay, one of the causes of the war was appeasement. We're going to learn about what it was again, and we're going to decide whether it was a mistake. So your title is was appeasement, and was it a mistake? So your starter question is: last lesson, did you think Hitler intended to start a war? Just say yes and no, and give me a reason why. Explain your reason behind that. Here are the three aims that we have looked at, but just a refresh of what Hitler's aims were, and were they reasonable? Do you think they were reasonable? So here you've got a definition of appeasement. And so give this a read. We're going to learn about it. It's giving in to someone's demands as far as it is reasonably possible to avoid conflict. Okay. So your first task is often we look back and think it should have been easy to stop Hitler. So why didn't we? He did loads of aggressive actions, but why did England and why did Britain and its allies just go along with it and not try to stop Hitler? So I'd like you to read through the following events about how Hitler took over other countries, how it contributed to the war, and answer the questions below each event. So you've got number one, join with Austria. Hitler wanted to make Germany a great power again, wanted to join together with their old ally, Austria. The Chancellor agreed to Hitler's demands. On the 12th of March 1938, Nazi troops began to march into Austria. Chancellor is just a key figure in the government. So you just need to answer these questions. Was this reasonable? Did this action suggest war? And should Britain have acted now? I'd like you to give a little bit of an explanation, not just a yes, no, yes, but a little bit of an explanation. And you've got four events that of what Hitler did, and it's the same questions. Your second task is to read through the information and complete the tasks underneath. So we've got some statements here regarding appeasement. I'd like you to highlight a tool, or if you're doing this by hand, you can do this. Just write the title of each, and maybe a bar chart, a T chart on whether these are arguments that support appeasement. So thinking giving in to Hitler to avoid war is a good idea, and arguments that oppose appeasement. So I'm going to just color this in for you so you know. So arguments that support, so let's give that a green highlight. Arguments that oppose, that go against it, let's give that a red highlight. So Germany deserved a fair deal. Germany was treated too harshly at first sight, so were only being given the rightful. They were only being given the rightful land. So that is saying that it was a good idea. Whilst this next one is, it encouraged Hitler. Giving in to Hitler only made him feel he could do what he wanted without fear of being stopped. Okay, so that is against. That is against Hitler. Against appeasement. So I've done two for you. I would like you to do the remainder. And then at the end, I would like you to answer the learning question. I want you to go back to the learning question. Do you think appeasement was a mistake? Write a paragraph explaining your answer, your reason, making sure that you acknowledge both sides of the argument. So on one hand, on the other, and use specific information. Hope that makes sense. If you've got any questions, please do ask your teacher. Thank you very much. I look forward to reading your